Hello, sister friends. My name is Jenny, and this is Senior Perspective, and I am excited to be talking about episode 13 with you. Let's do it. Okay, we have three main scenes that we are going to cover with this episode. Christine looking for a wedding dress / Christine looking for a cake. Mary talking to two of her friends about her life with Cody and now without Cody. And Robyn Brown's two girls coming up to her to talk about wanting to return to the church to find a man. Which one do you think was the most interesting? Hands down, the best one was Mary talking with her girlfriends.
No doubt.
No way around it. There's no way around it. And because of that, we're going to talk about it last so that I can keep you here to the end of the video. We're going to talk about the worst one first. I know you think I'm going to talk about Christine and the wedding dress shopping and the cake tasting. But no, we're going to talk about Robyn and the most uncomfortable, awkward scene we've seen in all of Sister Wives. The one that felt the most scripted and uncomfortable of any scene I've ever seen before. So here we go. Let's jump right in with 2 feet, because probably the most unbelievable part is right smack dab at the beginning. And that is because Mary has just left Flagstaff for Parowan, officially divorced Cody. And after all these years of being tormented, she's finally free. We go talk to Robyn about it. Is Robyn happy for Mary at all? Heck no. Robyn is so sad for herself. She can't get over it. Still the victim. She has learned nothing. I don't think she understands victim, or does Cody, because whenever somebody says something about Robyn or Cody, calls them a hypocrite, a narcissist, a victim, oh gosh, what is the whole list of things? Things that we have noted and indicated about one of the two of them. The following season, he starts using that word about other wives. And most of the time, it just doesn't fit or apply. And it's so obvious and ridiculous that he would have been better just staying silent. Robyn, I don't think, is watching these shows because she is going ahead and continuing to play victim in all of this. She's suffering and sad.
Mary just moved to Parowan. It's been a challenge for me.
Meanwhile,
Mary has been treated like dirt and essentially dumped and kicked to the curb.
She doesn't care.
Almost put in the garage on the upper level with Cody's precious cars to live.
Barn dominium is basically a big, giant garage or barn, a metal building that goes up fast, lickety-split, and you could live in that loft. I mean, it'll have, like a shower, fridge, like normal, like it'd be about this big.
Oh my goodness, you couldn't script it.
still sad.
Asking myself now, why me?
Is Robyn's reaction to all of it. We are going to talk about Christine. Christine, who left over a year ago. All of a sudden, Robyn is tormented over the fact that she's dating.
Now that Christine's moved on and I know that she's dating and stuff, it's just what it is. I have to just, I've had to just let it go.
I didn't want her to be happy. I didn't want her to find somebody else. I wanted her to be miserable, a miserable spinster all by herself, sewing in her rocking chair, wishing she had made a different choice. That was my vision for her. What do you mean she's out dating? That sounds like fun. How can she have fun? Well, I'll tell you what. She might be having fun, but I'm miserable. Miserable, I say. And I'm going to do an interview just like this, as if my world has ended.
It's just what it is. I have to just, I've had to just let it go.
You weren't exaggerating.
I'm sort of dealing with a little bit of identity issues. Going, where's my future? It disappeared. So, having to think about that a lot.
Are you joking? You have identity issues over the fact that the wife that you never got along with is gone a year ago. And she's moving on and dating other people after she divorced Cody a year ago. This is causing you identity issues. You have issues. No doubt you have issues. If this is causing you, if this is even slightly true, you have issues. Go get it resolved, Robyn. That's all I can say. This isn't about you. The fact you keep making it about you proves how out of touch you are and how selfish and self-centered you are. Think outside yourself for a moment. Please stop being Cody.
Burn.
So on this day, Cody decides to take the youngins out to go away so Robyn can talk to the girls, because we have upcoming a very contrived, uncomfortable attempt at repeating a script that was memorized. And I know a lot of people say Sister Wives is scripted. Listen, all reality TV has an outline. They have a general. They might even say, hey, here's a line that you should throw in while you're having this conversation. Or, hey, you ask that one this question during the conversation. You want to call that scripted? Fine, whatever. I call it an outline, a guideline. We're setting the stage, putting you in the situation, go have a discussion. And I'm willing to accept that for my reality TV, okay? However, this feels like the three of them sat down and all decided to write out a story of what was going to happen line by line, word by word, and then they attempted to memorize it. I'll say this, then you say that, then I'll say this, then you say that. It is one of the most uncomfortable pieces of television I've ever seen. I'll see how much I can edit in here without the angry copyright monsters taking down this video or demonetizing the video and giving all the money to Discovery TV. All right, so let's begin. Let's start with the real uncomfortable. How do we begin this conversation now that the cameras are here and the kids are gone and we just happen to be standing in the kitchen next to each other? No small talk, no natural conversation whatsoever. This is how it begins.
Do you know how we were talking about joining a church and church things?
Yeah, are you cool if I have Aurora come join us? Because she's kind of been saying the same thing to me, and I think we need to kind of just flush it all the way out.
Do you know how we were talking about joining the church? I'm sorry, I can't. And I have a rule on this channel that you don't make fun of kids because they didn't have a choice to be on here. These girls are in their 20s. They're 20s. They're about my daughter's ages. They're both married. Successfully living their lives. Graduated from college, got a great job, got married. Graduated from college, went on to veterinary school. 2 years into it, got married, finishing it up this year. Let's compare that to our 20-year-olds that we are going to watch now. Ask mommy for permission to go to church.
You playing with me, right?
Robyn's response? Yeah. You know what? Are you cool if we have Aurora join us too? Because Aurora's been mentioning that she too is interested in maybe joining a church. Yeah, that's good. Oh, it is like the worst after school special. You guys don't know what after school specials are. Okay, my sister friend's my age. What was it, Wednesday's after school, ABC after school special with the really bad actors, but they talked about topics that were relevant to us as young kids at the time, and so we watched it. In the talking head, Robyn says Aurora and Brianna have been saying they've really been needing church back in their lives. All right, go to church. I don't understand. They're in their 20s. They feel like they want to go to church. Go to church. End of scene. Oh no, it goes on. We are going to sit down and pretend like we're having a conversation about it, as if they were maybe 14 and 16 years old. The church thing drives me nuts too, quite frankly. We talked about this when we were watching it live at night, and I just don't understand. They claim the base of their church is the Bible. Go to a Bible-based church. There's a million of them out there. But no, because they also believe in this AUB part of the faith where you should live a life of polygamy in order to get into heaven. Because of this component of their faith, they will throw everything away if they can't find a church that also has this. I don't get it. I was raised Lutheran, and there were a bunch of tenets of that faith that were different from the other ones. When I left the Lutheran church, I found another Christian church that was just based on the Bible, because they're all based on the Bible. I don't understand. Please help me. understand. Brianna comes right out and says, I miss going to a Christian church. Go, little bird. Be free. Fly. Fly. We have a little montage. I'm not going to share it with you. Pictures of Robyn as she's growing up and her talking about how her church, her AUB faith church, is something she was born and raised in and went to a church school, and it was such a foundation of her life. This really, really strict, oppressive faith that she holds dear to. Fine, that's your choice. I'm okay with that. Except the girl got pregnant before she was even married.
That's not in the Bible, is it?
The AUB church does not condone that. They have so many restrictions and limitations on women. Spreading your legs before you're married.
Oh yeah, that is a big no-no.
Thus forcing a shotgun wedding. This is the woman who is preaching about how important her faith is to her. Like, give me a break. I will say, though, we did get one break. We did not have to hear the purity speech again.
Praise the Lord!
But there was a clever edit that happened with TLC, and that is Robyn saying to her girls, no, I understand that you miss the Christian church. I do too. I really do.
I want to be a part of, like, a Christian community. I just really miss that.
I've missed it too. It's been a long time since we've been to church.
Then in the Talking Head interview, she is saying how they went to church all the time when they were back in Utah. But as soon as they moved to Vegas, they stopped because there was no AUB faith there. There was no church. Question. Why did you move to Vegas then? This whole show and the premise and your faith and polygamy is all based on the AUB church. There's lots of chapters all around the country. Why did you choose a place where there is no AUB? Oh, Robyn's daddy lived there. Okay, I'm just checking. Thank you. Moving on. So now they're in Vegas and they're in a place where, there's no church. So they're doing home church in their homes. Here's how Robyn describes how the church was when they tried to do it in their own homes.
We went all the time, and then we went to Vegas and we couldn't. And so we were trying to do it as a family, but it was never really that great.
The Hebrews.
Cut to a picture of Cody Brown standing in front of all the kids trying to lead church for them. I mean, brilliant editing, right? It really wasn't that great. Cody's picture.
Savage.
Okay. That was good, TLC. That was good. I'm going to give you kudos for that one. Of course, the little example that they give when Cody knew the cameras were going to be on and recording him and he is preaching for all the kids. We're talking about the Hebrews and their culture. In the Bible, part of the Christian faith. But again, Cody is just obsessed with Judaism. And you never see him ever embrace Christianity. He didn't even want to celebrate Christmas or Easter, the benchmarks of the faith of Christianity.
And then as I got exposure to more people and more people who had interpretation of scripture and stuff like that, we started going, wait a second, we shouldn't be celebrating Easter. We should be celebrating Passover.
No, not we, you.
In the end, I just really personally felt like I was more in line with God if I was just celebrating Passover.
It's always about the Old Testament. He's talking about the struggle of the Hebrews.
The Hebrews started struggling to maintain their culture. And the moms and I have talked a lot about how we've struggled to maintain our family culture.
All right. Again, I'm not saying you don't hear those stories in a Christian church. I'm just pairing it with everything else that goes on with it. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he even made his oldest son, Logan, have a bar mitzvah. And I will be honest, been a Christian my whole life, know hundreds of people who are, maybe thousands, never once heard of anybody who had a bar mitzvah. My Jewish friends, that's what they celebrate. That's part of their faith. The Christian friends, not so much. I just had a laugh when I saw him talking about the Hebrews. Robyn saying it's not great, and then he's like, and the Hebrews were prosecuted. I'm like, oh, Lordy.
Here we go again.
As long as they don't have to eat pork or poi. I really hope they bring pork. I haven't tasted pork in a long time. What's wrong with you being there?
Oh, I don't want to be offended because I won't eat pork.
Well, go eat.
Well, what's wrong with you not eating pork and still being there?
Do you think it's weird that Dad stopped eating pork?
I think my kids ate the pork, but, I don't eat pork.
I know, but I ate some because I was curious. I mean, it's been roasting, and it was good.
He wants his family to follow these ideas and practices that we consider kind of religious.
You do? Since when?
By eating kosher, that kind of thing.
Kosher?
Well, he's not kosher.
All right, let's move on. So you were in Vegas. Things were falling apart. You're falling away from your faith. You don't have a church. Cody's trying to lead church. It's not good, per your words, Robyn. And then you decide, oh, we should move. Okay, let's pretend all the rumors are true. You had balloon payments on your houses. Dumb. And thus couldn't pay them off because you weren't paying in advance. Dumb. And had to sell all the houses so that you would have money to, as Cody wants, buy one big house, but to get other houses somewhere else. What do? You move to a more expensive city where housing's more expensive, and there's still no AUB church. Make it make sense. It doesn't.
Dumb.
So then we have a conversation where she says, so since we've been to Flagstaff, we haven't gone to any church because there's no AUB church. Okay. And Cody's been withdrawing from the AUB church. Okay. I'm sure there's a gazillion Christian churches of all kinds of different denominations all around Flagstaff. I'm certain of it.
Pick one.
Why am I certain of it? Because they're all around the entire country. You can't go to a city that doesn't have a Christian church in it. So what's the problem? Moving on. We have Aurora looking like she's on the brink of depression, saying she took a class on Buddhism last semester and wants to investigate that more.
One thing that's kind of pushed me a little bit more towards it is the Buddhism class I took last semester. I wanted that to be a lot more of a part of my life than it is.
And Robyn's like, like a spirituality, right?
Yeah, like a spirituality, religion type concept.
Like have a community.
Oh, this is just so uncomfortable to watch. I don't even know what to say.
So just stick to this script.
And what does that have anything to do? Brianna and Robyn were just commiserating about how they are missing their Christian faith. Robyn had Aurora come in as part of this conversation because apparently she's been saying the same thing. But what does she say? She says, I took a class on Buddhism and I want to explore more of that.
Not the same thing.
Different direction. I'm starting to feel schizophrenic here. What are we talking about? Are we talking about just going back to any church? Are we talking about the Christian church? Because Brianna said Christian church and Robyn said Christian church, but she really wants the AUB, but Cody doesn't want the AUB and it's a bone of contention between them now. It is hurting my head. Brianna, I don't know what to make of Brianna. She looks like she's on the verge of tears.
I have conflicting thoughts, but right now I don't think so. I'm not sure if I want to live that.
Tears. Aurora kind of does too. They both look like they're about to break down and cry over the fact that they haven't been to church. I don't know. Do they not drive? Can they not get in a car and go drive to church on Sunday morning? What is happening in this scene? Help me understand. What are they, like 21 and 23 or something like that? 20 and 23 and they don't... I don't understand the sadness. The uncomfortable nature of their bodies and their voice and their heads and they're looking down and Brianna going, makes it seem like they've been begging to go to a Christian church and they were told, no, absolutely not. You won't go to any church. And they've like come back groveling again. Please, sir, may I have some porridge? That's from Oliver. Okay, please, mommy. Can we please go to church and meet friends? And then Robyn follows it up with, I don't want them to go to find a guy at church, because Brianna makes a point to say, I want to find somebody who's in line with my spiritual beliefs and my values, and so I feel like I'll find that at church. Good point. If you're not finding it out there in society and your religion is important to you, go to a church to find like-minded people. Robyn does not like this idea at all. Right away she goes, you mean girlfriends? Like, you know, right? You're going to have girlfriends there? Like, we can start with friends.
She's 20 years old, for God's sake.
And it's like, yeah, sure, Mommy. And then Robyn says, we don't really need to go down the boyfriend route right now. I just want them to really connect with their spirituality and their faith.
Well, this is new.
Oh, really, Robyn? Because you've lived for 7 years in that house. They haven't attended church once. Is that really what you want? You want them to grow their spiritual... How? Cody's not doing church services anymore. You guys just admitted you have not attended church in 7 years. What are you doing to grow your spiritual faith? Like, show us. Maybe you are. Maybe you're all cracking the Bible open and you're studying it diligently with a concordance and maps and everything, and you're just really diving in deep and learning it on a daily basis. I doubt it. We've seen nothing of the sort, and I would think that Robyn would share that because she's always claiming how spiritual she is. So I call BS. She's just saying it now for the show. This is one of those scenes that is uncomfortable as the kids are like, I would like to go to church too and maybe meet some boys. You mean maybe some girlfriends, right? You have some girlfriends? Yeah, I'd like that, yeah.
Take it from the top. Oh.
I want to start dating guys who kind of believe the same thing and have the same life goal as me, so I think that would probably be a good place to start.
Maybe some girlfriends or something that, you know, like some friends that are like think the same way, have the same goals like that. So.
Robyn does a doozy right here and manages to come out and say, okay, neither of my girls are really interested in plural marriage right now, but that's because they're watching our family and everything we've been through and all the turmoil we've been through. That's not the fault of polygamy. It's of the individuals themselves. You know, she's not including herself in that group. I would say it's of the individuals, not polygamy. Well, no, and polygamy. I would say it's a triad. We have polygamy, Cody, Robyn. This is the problem with this Brown family's marriage. Polygamy number 1, the whole thing is a hot mess. Watching your husband sleep with multiple other women and suffering and being jealous during that time is sinful. You should willingly push him towards other women. It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. That's not a problem. Then we have Cody, the narcissist.
Allegedly.
And Robyn, possibly another narcissist. Definitely a victim. Then we had the OG3, who had a well-oiled machine going for 15 years before Robyn came into this family. Where's the problem? It's people, all right. She might be confused on which people, though. Cody said that he doesn't think any of his kids are going to live plural marriage. None of his daughters, because of what they've witnessed in the family. And then, I really don't think any of my sons will either. And he just chuckles. What's so funny?
I could possibly see it if one of my daughters wanted to marry a married man. I don't think the experience they've had with our family would make them want to do that. I really don't think any of my sons are interested in plural marriage either.
Maybe he thinks it's absurd, that they're just crazy. These boys want to just be with one person. They could have 3, 4, 5, 10 women if they want. Well, I want to tell you, Cody, you know what's funny? What's funny is you blame your wives on the fact that the girls don't want to go into polygamy. Who should we blame on the fact that the boys don't want to join polygamy? What have they been watching? Oh, one example. Only one. It's you. You are the reason none of your boys want to live polygamy. And if you want to blame your wives for the reason the girls don't want to be in it, don't forget Robyn is front and center in that group. So Robyn is going to take them to churches to church shop. Now the term church shopping is a common term that's used. If you're planning on looking for a church, Church shopping is a term that's used. But when you're in your 20s, you don't need your mom to go supervise. Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be? That her mother is there checking everything out and asking all the questions while they just stand there quietly. Let them grow up. Let them go and make their own decision. Let them use their brains by themselves, Robyn, please. Maybe the whole thing is just all made up from beginning to end. This entire dialogue that they've contrived to put on camera here. I mean, I guess we gotta give TLC kudos for finally getting Robyn involved in a scene, but because she doesn't get along with any of the OG3, I think she thinks she gets along with Mary, but I think Mary thinks otherwise. And because she really doesn't get along with any of the OG kids, and it appears that she really doesn't have any friends, all our scenes are gonna be this, people. Buckle up. It's gonna be a rough ride. All right, what does Cody say at the end?
So I'm nervous about this experience, and I've got some anxieties and some withholdings.
Cody has anxiety and withholdings. Not reservations. Withholdings. Again, the word is adjacent. Sort of close, but not correct. Almost like Cody speaks like English is his second language. And English having so many adverbs and adjectives and articles and conjugating of verb forms can be difficult to learn as a second language. Therefore, one might use a word such as withholdings instead of reservations. I have anxiety and withholdings. I'm sorry. Let's go on. His language blows my mind.
I'm in a place in my life where I will remain the Maverick because I don't want to wear the brand.
What?
I'm in a place in my life where I will remain the Maverick because I don't want to wear the brand.
I'm way beyond confused.
What the F? I will remain the Maverick because I don't want to wear the brand? Is this a figure of speech? Is this a phrase? Is this from a movie? Let me look it up. I will remain the Maverick because I don't want to wear. My nails are too long. I gotta get them cut. Hard to type. The brand. No, nothing. Nothing. Let me try to put it in quotation marks. Absolutely nothing. I will remain the Maverick. Okay, so the Maverick is like the, the cool, hot cowboy, right? I don't want to wear the brand. Well, who wears the brand? Either the horses or the slaves. I don't think he's going down that route. I don't want to wear the brand. What does he mean? He doesn't want to be branded as a Christian? He doesn't want to be identified as being a Christian man, so he'll be the Maverick and do his own thing? Is that what he means? It would go in line with the fact that earlier in episodes he said that God offends him. He's offended that God would tell him that he would have to take on wives, which God never did. We covered that already. Puts words in God's mouth, which, again, look at the video titled Blasphemy. Here we are again. I think that's what he's saying. I'm not gonna be a Christian. I'm not gonna be a sheep. Ya can't brand me. I'm a rogue Maverick. Watch me ride. I'm so cool. I deny God. But then, right after he says that line,
but I do believe in Jesus.
Buddy, then you're wearing the brand. Just saying.
Own it.
It's all semantics, Cody. This is all semantics. It's not that difficult. You believe, you don't believe. No branding. Your analogy makes no sense with you then saying, but I believe in Jesus. I don't want to wear the brand. I'm going to be the Maverick. do my own thing, but I believe in Jesus. That's all the people who are branded free will, Cody. You missed that part of the Bible. Everyone can choose to do whatever they want. Now we have 2 scenes with Christine. I'm glad they're both in the same episode. We're not spreading this out. And one was her trying on dresses. One was her tasting different cakes.
It was okay.
I didn't think it was as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Way to sell.
That's largely because it was really nice at the beginning to see how many women came to support her. That's lovely. Good for Christine. The fact that Maddie flew across the country, amazing. And somebody, I think it was Huckleberry, somebody pointed out in our live that Cody is just going to be reeling when he sees this episode and sees that Maddie didn't even tell him she was pregnant, but yet would fly across the country to go to the dress shopping for Christine. It was pretty great. So it was nice. You know, she came out dress after dress after dress. That we probably saw like 10 of them, and I would say 9 of them looked almost identical. I mean, they were all pretty dresses. In the end, she ended up choosing none of the dresses, but she realized what parts of each dress she liked, and they were going to custom make her a dress, which somebody also pointed out in our live on Sunday night when we watched it live together. I think this was Danny. Said, how is it that it was custom made and so ill-fitting? Very good question. It was too big. It was too big. She needed to have a little more support too. Pull the girls up. Be proud. So that's unfortunate that that was a custom-made dress, and that's what it ended up looking like in the very end.
If you got it, flaunt it, I say.
So there's that. She looked beautiful in the dress. She was a beautiful bride. The dress was a pretty dress. It just didn't fit right. Okay. Hey, sister friends, this is halfway through the episode. Thank you so much for still being here. But there's even better stuff to come at the very end. So take this moment right now to hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you haven't done so already. Make sure you leave me a comment of some sort. I will read it. Sometimes it takes me a long time, but I do eventually read it. And click on the link in the notes description down below before you do your Amazon shopping. Take a look at 2 of my favorite things that I recommend and see if you might want them too. If you don't, it's okay. Thank you for checking it out anyway. And it still benefits my channel before you do your shopping, so I appreciate you. Now back to the show. Moving on to the cake tasting.
It was fine, I guess. I don't know.
There were like, I don't know, 8 cakes maybe that they went around and they showed every round of them handing out all the different cake flavors. Clearly, this was only an opportunity for Christine to get a free cake for her wedding because they kept mentioning the name of the bakery. They kept mentioning the name of the person who was making her dress. They kept showing the signage and the tags on all the dresses by the gal who designs all the dresses in this particular boutique. Obviously, she was donating the dress to Christine, or predominantly donating, maybe a significant discount, in exchange for airtime on international television. Now, if she would have done a better job on measurements, she might have gotten a little bit of business out of it. Or maybe she did. Who knows? I mean, the dress was light years better than her dress when she got married to Cody, for sure. Now with the cake, same thing. We kept seeing the names of all the different flavors. They kept showing the cakes over and over and over and over again. It's very TLC. Let's bang you over the head with the same information 1,000 times until you learn it. And then we'll pretend like you never heard it and we'll do it over and over again. So we kept looking at all the same cakes over and over again and the names of them, and they kept handing them out and saying what the names of them were as they were trying them. Okay. I will say I think I was hungry when I was watching it because I really did enjoy the vanilla almond looking one. There's a little bit of conversation about naked cakes and all that. What was nice about this scene was that Christine felt more relaxed. Maybe it was because David was by her side. I don't know. Usually when David's there, she gets overexcited. She wasn't. It was nice. It was like, okay, all right. She's becoming normal Christine again. She's coming back down. So it was nice conversation. They had a nice banter with each other. They joked around about the cake. It was sweet and it was nice. And it appeared that almost all the kids were enjoying eating the cake. So good scene. Show filler. I don't know which ones they chose in the end. I don't think they said. All they said was they were going to have 3 cakes in the end. So So couldn't decide, went with 3. I think my daughter did that too. I think both my daughters did that. I think my first daughter had a cake with 1 flavor, 2 other small cakes of different flavors, and then had donuts as well. And then my other daughter had a cake, was going to have these smaller cakes, and then they had all these cupcakes, like ganache filled chocolate, like the really decadent kind of cupcakes were around. So they weren't like specifically related to the cake. So I guess that's the way of the future. Actually, I think he said that. Let's be different. Why do we have to do it like everybody else? Let's just have 1 main cake and then 2 smaller ones of different flavors. Not different. I think that's what all the kids are doing. I don't know. All right, is that it? I think that's it. Cut back to the first scene. We have a little bit more information on how Robyn and Cody feel about Christine. Again, a year after she left, they're still hurt. Robyn did her usual, I just want her to be happy. Like she can't be happy. Like, I don't know. I wish her the best, but I don't know. I wish she can be happy. So she gives that same line again as she's said in the past.
I don't know really what's going on in Christine's life. I just hope she's finding happiness, that's all.
And then Cody goes on to say, I don't think about her at all because I got a wife I really love and that's what I'm focusing on. So I'm not focusing on her at all. The more he kept talking, the more you realized he thinks about her all the time. Like he completely laid his cards out on the table for everybody to see.
I'm totally refusing to be curious about Christine because I have a wife that I want to work out my relationship with enthusiasm.
I have this one wife who I have a relationship with enthusiasm. I believe you.
With enthusiasm.
Keep trying to sell it, Cody.
And so it's almost kind of like an ignore thing. I'm not going to act interested. No way. No.
I don't know why that's funny, because I think Robyn's going to be upset when she sees that. I'm not interested in what's going on with her. Why is that funny? I think Robyn's going to be pissed when she sees that. He just comes right out and says, I'm very interested in what's going on with Christine, and I'm trying to keep one eye on it. Maybe he thinks he's funny? That tracks. Now the best part of the episode, Mary and her amazing friends. How does she keep getting such great friends? I like all 3 of these friends that we've met so far. And the ones on Christmas that she hung out with seemed okay too. We just didn't see much of them. She is a magnet for good, wholesome, say it like it is, friends. Kind of shocking to me. Because Mary doesn't seem like she's really open to hearing truth from people. Or maybe she is, but she just is so stuck in it that she won't apply it. It's still like outside here for her. I don't know. Anyway, the girls were lovely and they were just stating it like it is. The minute Robyn came into the family, the OG3 could have just disappeared. He only had eyes for her.
Since he has married Robyn, for me, he has wanted nobody else.
And you can tell these aren't fake friends that just came in for the show because Mary said she babysat one of them. So she's really known her for a long time. The other one she hasn't known as long, but the other one was raised in polygamy. But both of these gals were with Mary when Mary went to go get the release from the church. And they sat out in the parking lot in the car and just waited until Mary was done so that they would be there for her when she left, knowing that it would probably be emotionally difficult for Mary. That's a good friend. That's a good friend. So after Mary shares with them that on her what would have been 33rd anniversary, Cody actually helped her move to Parowan, and they kind of seemed surprised. And the one, I should get their names. The dark-haired one, I'll just say dark and blonde. The dark-haired one said to her, "Oh, he was there? Was he nice?" Like, she didn't believe for a second he could be nice. And Mary said, "Yeah, he was nice." And she goes, "All right. No ego?" Like, she's calling him out. I love it.
Yeah, but was he
nice?
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, no ego?
No,
listen,
I mean, this is Cody we're talking about.
I know.
I don't know who this chick is, but give her a role on the show.
But that is the minute he married her, those two, I don't know. It's like he didn't really care for any of the others. Or you. Everyone thinks it.
I like that dark-haired girl said not only has Cody only had eyes for Robyn ever since she came into the family, she says, everyone thinks it. I mean, that's good for Mary. Be blunt. I think Mary needs blunt.
She does not pull punches, and she's honest.
I like this chick. The most shocking part comes up next, though. Mary says in her talking head interview, I agree with her. That's huge.
I agree with her. I think it was not something that I recognized for many, many years.
This is saying Cody only had eyes for Robyn and didn't care for anyone else after Robyn came into the family. She says, I agree. I didn't see it for years.
That's an understatement.
But I do now. Kind of loving it. I don't know if the rest of the season we're going to see that come to fruition because, again, the talking head interview, we can tell Mary considerably thinner, so this is months later. The season might not reflect this level of introspection, but we'll see. Then we have the biggest bunch of BS that comes out of Cody's mouth. It's almost at the point that it's delightful to hear.
Didn't get that, son. What was that?
I used to get really, really upset with him with all of these blatant lies. But he just makes himself look dumber and dumber every time he does it. So, like, now it's starting to become comical to me.
Okay.
Get this. Just, wait, no, I'm just going to play it. This is what Cody has to say about Robyn coming into the family and his relationship with the other women.
My attitude never changed when Robyn and I got married.
His attitude never changed. Even though all the wives complained about not getting equal time and not feeling as connected to him. His attitude never changed. Must have been them. Cody world. And then...
So anybody who tries to say that I favored Robyn with time or anything like that is just going off of a recency bias.
Going off a recency bias. It's the second time he's used that in the past couple weeks. It's our new buzzword. Goodbye experience. Goodbye loyalty. Goodbye contempt. Goodbye safe. Goodbye respect and disrespect.
Make room for...
Let me welcome recency bias into our lexicon that we will probably use again next week. And if it's recency bias, that would mean at the end of your marriages, you indeed gave her more time. So you're still admitting you gave her more time because that's what recency bias would be. But we saw it on the show. Again, does this man not know that these big metal things in front of him are cameras that are recording what he's saying? I'm convinced the man goes back and watches and rewatches these episodes.
Look at my hair.
But I don't think it gets into his head. I don't think he sees it like we see it, which would be narcissism on a whole nother level.
Allegedly.
He cannot see outside of himself. He will tell himself a lie because he can never be wrong. So he'll just say, that's not true, and this is the way it is, and say it so many times, I almost believe that he might believe himself, even though he's the one that made up the lie. I know it sounds crazy. All right, and quite frankly, he's come out and admitted in the past that Robyn got more attention. He could never deny the fact he did not show up at another wife's house until 6 p.m. at night, and he left at 8 a.m. in the morning. That's the only time they got every 4 days. 6 p.m. at night, 7 a.m. in the morning. Where is he from 7 a.m. in the morning until 6 p.m. at night? For 11 hours, he's at Robyn's house. And he admits it because he said Robyn has given him a spot for his car in her garage and allowed one room to be an office for him. He needs to be working in his office 11 hours a day, 7 days a week. And yet the man's broke. He's not making anything besides TLC money, and that's going out the window quick. Oh wait, no, it's going into investments and assets.
Disgusting.
Ew.
Oh, ay caramba.
assets that will not appreciate. So I don't know why the man just didn't put it in the stock market. Oh my goodness. He bought ugly painting instead and thinks that somebody else is going to pay even more than he did for those ugly paintings. I mean, you know, maybe he's on to something. Somebody paid a lot more money for that kind of ugly house. Great square footage, great location, but with the paint peeling on the deck and the colors being exactly the same, with the decor and the interior design and paint colors reflective of the 80s. It's shocking to me that what appears to be no upkeep and maintenance on the home, or no change or updating whatsoever, that they got that much more money out of it when they sold it. I still think that the buyer said, we need $500,000 to fix up this place, put it in with the sale of the house, and have them give it to us in cash. That's what I think. So they're talking about how Cody's going to miss Mary one day and realize what a big mistake he made. And Blondie says that she believes that he's missing her already, and Mary is eating it up. Oh, she's like, really? Do you think so? Yeah. Oh, you can tell she is not over this man. She is not over this man.
I would agree. Incredible human.
And they call her out on it. They say, I don't think you're over him yet. You need to get over him. Get over him, Mary.
I even hear it now, like you probably would do one more chance.
All right, we have a little flashback scene now. Thank you, TLC. Like we don't remember this. When Mary, the classic, shown all the time, scene of Mary and Cody going on a date early in the early seasons, and Mary saying how difficult it is with the other wives, especially with Robyn coming into the family. Cody basically saying, buck up, and jealousy is not an admirable trait. Not the path to heaven for Mary. And she says, well, you know, what would it be like if I was dating another guy? And he said, oh, the vulgarity.
The vulgarity of the idea of you with two husbands or another lover sickens me.
Mr. Hypocrite. And Mary comes right out and says Cody absolutely made her feel like she was doing something wrong for being jealous that he was sleeping with other women.
Even in that moment, at that anniversary, Cody was making me feel like I was wrong for having the emotions of jealousy, but that's a normal human emotion and it's okay to feel that.
Yes, girl. Yes.
And then we got an actual statement that they've touched on this in the past or like tiptoed around it, but Mary came right out and said this.
That's one of the big things that is taught, is that you have to suffer in order to get to heaven. And I don't believe that.
You have to suffer in order to get to heaven. I cannot think of another line that's more distorting of the message of Scripture than that. Nothing can be further from the truth. Where is that in the Bible? It's not. And it makes me think that possibly, and let me know if you know of any of these, there are faiths out there that tell you you cannot read the Bible. I do know that in the Catholic Church, my father-in-law,
Long time ago,
he never had a Bible and didn't want a Bible because he was taught in his Catholic church. I don't know if all Catholic churches are like this. And obviously, we're talking old school. This is my father-in-law. But he was taught that only the priest could interpret the Bible. Therefore, no parishioners were to own a Bible. They were just to attend church on Sunday and listen to what they're told them. It's like saying, I have a will for your estate here, but you can't look at it. But just trust me, I'm going to tell you what's in it. Maybe I'm telling you the 100% truth, and I'm being honest. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm tweaking it to make it what I want to fit. It's just hard for me to believe that there are faiths that don't let you cross-reference the information. But apparently there are. And it seems like this might be one of them, because these kind of principles are untrue. And that is not the way, according to the Bible, that you receive salvation and go to heaven. Not at all. You can't earn heaven. Nobody's perfect. Nobody can earn it. We're all sinful people. Every single one of us. It's a free gift. You don't earn it by suffering in life. Oh, what a miserable thought. The whole joy of the message of Christianity lost. Unbelievable. Okay, let's keep going.
I feel like I'm being very open and honest in this conversation, more than I have been in a while.
And I love that for you, Mary. I do. I think you too are being more open and honest in this conversation, more than anyone we've seen on the show. And it's good. I hope that your ears are more open as well in this conversation. That will help breed the change that needs to happen. You just got to get your ears away from Robyn and Cody. Start listening to normal people. They're crazy. We have a scene of Robyn talking about how important her dress was to her and how important a wedding dress is to the bride. And she's like all beaming. And you just want to go, shut up. We know how you got your wedding dress and how backhanded and conniving and deceitful that was. Before you even married into the family, you were lying to the OG3. Ay.
I picked the dress.
You're the groom. Did you really?
I picked the dress.
Unhappy little man, and you treat people like they were idiots.
And we went to Lisa's bridal, and Robyn and I went and looked at dresses, and she picked one out, and I was like, holy cow, it's like I'd seen it in my dreams, you know?
Thanks, that's just nice to do. It's just not cool.
Kind of a slap in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, I felt like I felt betrayed because it was like Robyn was all very quiet about what her dress looked like. And then all of a sudden it was like this thing that we had all done together, like the women. And then here's Cody saying, oh, well, it wasn't really for real. Like it took me back, obviously. Sorry.
It wasn't funny to me either. It was actually something that I had to ask him, not to share with anybody.
Because you knew it was wrong.
For the sake of sort of protecting both experiences, I didn't feel it was necessary for you guys to know that,
Oh, you didn't?
That's very selfish.
Deceptive and manipulative.
She has lied to you from the beginning.
Okay, so then Mary's talking to Hillary, and she just said their names again, so I got it straight. Dark-haired, Andrea. Blondie, Hillary. And Mary says to Hillary, I really haven't spoken about this to anybody. And Hillary asks why, and she says, I don't really know. And she goes, well, what do you want people to ask you? And Mary was unable to answer that question. I don't think she's gone deep about any of this. But I thought that was a real insightful question on behalf of Hillary, and hopefully it's something that Mary goes home and starts to ponder. What do I want to share about what I've been through with people? And what would I want people to ask me about it? Good questions. So they're talking about plural marriage and the problems with it. And then we have a line from Mary, which proves to us she's got a long way to go. Here we go.
I think there's a way that you can live plural marriage and everybody be okay. You don't think that? You don't?
I've never seen it work.
Really?
I don't know anyone happily married in polygamy.
Maybe I'm just wishful thinking.
Why do you have wishful thinking for it? Do you want to go back to it? Or is it just that you want to, this could be it, you want to believe that the faith that you followed for so many years, 33 years, and then you were raised in it before that, wasn't a lie. I get that. That's going to be hard to break. Those chains would be hard to break. And when Hillary says, I've never seen it work successfully for anybody, Mary couldn't come back and say, well, I know some people. Now, I'm surprised she didn't say the Dargers, because they really put on the facade anyway that it's working like a well-oiled machine over there. Hard to believe that's true. Really hard to believe that's true. But that is what they project. Other than that, I don't know if Mary has any siblings that were successful in it. Her sister was married to Nathan, and Nathan had another wife, but she ended up leaving him. So that didn't work. Yeah, I don't know. Not a whole lot of successfully married polygamists that are happy. Happy. And Joe Darger, who seems like a nice guy, also sounds pretty militant in the way he runs things. So those wives might just be scared to say anything negative. It's possible. There is a kind of funny line that Hillary says, and she doesn't mean for it to be funny whatsoever, but she's saying how it doesn't work. And she gave her an example, her own personal family. Apparently there were two wives, her mom, and then there was one other wife. There were 13 children between the two of them. And she said, it doesn't work because take a given night. You've got 3 kids that had bad dreams and 1 that's sick. One wife has to get up really early in the morning to go to work. The other one has got other things to do. And then, this was the good line, She says, I didn't see my dad get a good night's sleep once. I don't think Cody ever got a bad night's sleep. He was not there for all 13 of his kids, even when they lived in the same house. He refused to walk over one door away and put all the little kids to bed, Christine's young kids to bed when she was working in the middle of the night. Aspen in 6th grade had to put down all the little ones. That is still shocking to me. That right there, that speaks volumes on the character of Cody Brown. So here's this girl, Hillary, saying how rotten polygamy is, how it's never going to work. Here's an example, and how exhausted her dad is and never got a full night's rest.
On the other hand,
Cody ate like a king, and with his big, fat, old, six-pack, bloated belly, he rolled into bed at night and got a good night's rest.
Listen,
Cody.
Cody, I'm going to be fair here.
Cody, listen to Robyn.
I'm going to be fair here.
It's still working. It's still happening.
Sorry. Who cares about my shirt?
I thought you meant his zipper was down or something. Sorry. No, his shirt is open and his belly's.
It's my rock hard abs. I have rock hard abs.
Just because you keep saying it doesn't make it so.
Hillary points out that your life is survival. Your life is making sure that your husband is not going to provide financially for another woman more than you. You're trying to make sure that your husband isn't enjoying having sex with another woman more than you. It's a constant battle, and it's like survival of the fittest to try to claw your way up to the top of the wives pole. And that does not make for a healthy or happy marriage. End of story. Mary's looking at her like, okay. Never thought of it like that.
You're constantly in survival. Survival isn't the way to happiness.
Eventually she says, it's just odd to hear you say that after I just left 33 years of that. So this is hard to grapple with and put my mind around. And then it looks like Mary slips again, like, I would do it again. I think that if we would have just tried hard enough, we could have made it work. And she says this.
I mean, and honestly, I got to the point where I was like, okay, like we're here now. Can we just make our family work?
Well, here we are. Can we just make it work now? No. It's over. And luckily the friend tells her, yeah, no, and you don't have the tools to do that. You're not equipped to do that.
You don't have the tools to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody's equipped to do that, to continue a relationship with a man you've divorced while he's still married to somebody else who he's happy with all of their kids. He likes the children. He likes the children until they get an opinion, or until they disagree with something that he says. But other than that, he likes his children. Mary's not in that situation, nor does she have the mental capabilities or emotional fortitude to make it work and be happy, which is the whole point of the conversation. You can't be happy in polygamy. And then at the very end, it seems like Mary gets it. And then she just goes, yeah, you're right.
And it takes both. Clearly, Cody didn't want it to work.
Yeah.
So how can it work?
Yeah, there's no way.
And at this point, Hillary says, Mary, I believe you'd give him one more chance. But there comes a point in time, they don't deserve another chance. And that was hard for Mary to hear. You can see her swallow hard.
There's a point where they don't deserve the chances.
Just saying.
She speaks the truth. It was a good time with him. It was. And now we're done.
Cheers to that.
That's nice.
Kinda, sorta.
That's nice at the end, but I wish it would have been, I did have a good time with him. Until I didn't. Because the last 15 years were pretty rotten. So yes, Cody and I had a good relationship. We had what I felt was a great relationship at the very beginning. And now I'm moving on. I just wanted to acknowledge it wasn't all good. In fact, the majority of it was not good. want to hear her say that. I want to have her acknowledge he done her wrong for many, many years. That's the one thing I wish those friends would have pushed. I wish, rather than just letting her say, it was really good, but now it's done. And then cheers and say, it was really good, and then it was really bad for a long time. But now you're on the other side.
I feel so much like I'm moving forward. Eventually, I'm going to find a guy. And then who knows what after that.
Yes, Mary, go get your guy. Was it after that talking head interview that she started dating Amos? Because that was kind of a hot mess. That was not a good choice at all. She needed her girlfriends to step up. I wish Jen would have stepped up and said, listen, Mary, back up. I feel like, I don't know. It does seem like Jen tiptoes around her a little bit, because Amos had more red flags than a...
I guess I didn't think that one through.
Amos had more red flags than a... soccer match. Those are red cards. What has red flags? Well, football games have challenge flags. They're red. You can only do 2 challenges a game, I think. So there's not very many of them, and often they don't use them.
Yeah, did not think that one through.
He had more red flags than a fleet of decorated sailboats in a regatta on the 4th of July. Which would also have blue and white flags in, but anyway, I got nothing.
We really didn't think that one through.
All right, that's all I've got. Tell me what has a lot of red flags. I have no idea. I have no idea. It's very late. It's 1:30 in the morning. 1:35 to be exact. Gotta go. All right, I'll be editing this and getting it out before next Sunday night. Thank you for sticking to the very end. I appreciate you. I am honored and humbled by your loyalty to this channel. It means the world to me. It really does. So thank you, and take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.